Hello, dear friends. Kim Chandro's quote: "Stop what you are doing and look around you. Everything you see, think, and feel is false." Opinion piece. Follow the white rabbit. Down the rabbit hole. Leads to Wonderland. The white rabbit is the divine connection. Let's start. We are diving deep down the white rabbit hole with each poignant relation, while deciphering the recent past and current events. Even if they can keep up their show for a little longer, the current economic meltdown will bring it all down sooner rather than later. The hunter who chases two rabbits catches none. For some people, the most favorable way to start a new month is with the rabbit. Some say white rabbit or repeat the white rabbit in some other almost ritualistic pattern. But the intention is always the same: to start the month with a good luck rabbit's foot. The Phoenicians and Romans called Spain rabbit country, but this Celtic custom began in the UK, where it is still common to say white rabbit on the first day of the month. To dream of a white rabbit means it is time to seize opportunities. Dreams of rabbits may reveal that you are going through times of reflection, when you don't know how to take on challenges that should have the emotional intelligence to get through. The White Rabbit is a fictional character from the book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, written by Lewis Carroll. He appears at the beginning of the book. She appears at the beginning of the book. No, because it's the rabbit. In chapter 1, wearing a waistcoat and muttering that he's too late for this destination. In quotes, I'm going, I'm late today. It is then that Alice follows him down the rabbit hole that leads to Wonderland. The White Rabbit thus becomes an emblematic character, an archetype representing the guide or hierophant for the seeker, making a call to adventure, to the initiatory journey that will transform Alice's dull life. Following the White Rabbit is the invitation to take a leap that will take us to other realities and requires the daring that allows the process of transformation to begin. Following the White Rabbit means following the call we all feel at some point in life, when we have to decide whether to continue doing the same thing that no longer fulfills us or make us happy. If you follow the White Rabbit, you will leave your comfort zone to start a new life full of uncertainties, and you will have to take risks. In return, you will find opportunities that will make you the hero or the heroine of the most important film of all, your own life. The allegory also appears in the movie Matrix 1, when Morpheus tells Neo, "Follow the White Rabbit." The White Rabbit is the way to connect with the memory of our divine origin, and when we fall down the hole, as happened to Alice, we can reach our unconscious. When we do so, we are presented with a myriad of mental doors that each need a key to help us open them, so that personal transformation is then possible. Then we ask for help from the master locksmith of the keys. In popular culture, the rabbit has become a powerful symbol, where following the White Rabbit describes the act of following something or someone, the pursuit of which leads to adventure and discovery. This metaphor has been used many times in literature, theater, film, and television. It can be seen in films such as Matrix, Lucy and Sex, or Donnie Darko, or in series such as Lost. The rabbit hole. The rabbit hole is used to refer to a situation that is strange, confusing, or illogical, and often difficult to escape. It is used especially in the phrase go down the rabbit hole or fall down the rabbit hole, a metaphor for something that spots someone into a wonderful or unsettling, surreal state of situation. Alice falls down a long hole into a surreal world. The term down the rabbit hole is a metaphor for the entrance into the unknown. The rabbit hole is the place where it all begins and symbolizes a gateway to a new world, adventures and unknown territories. Alice's white rabbit carries a huge pocket watch for time travel and tells her, "If you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about losing it." The rabbit hole represents not only a doorway, but also Alice's confusion and misdirection in controlling her dreams. Going down the rabbit hole is a strange or difficult state or situation, conceived as a hole into which one falls or descends. To get out of the rabbit hole, all you need is mindfulness and enjoy the simple things without worrying about what cannot be changed. Following the white rabbit means looking for the almost invisible threads that link one thing to another. When you feel overwhelmed, remember that Alice wakes up and you will wake up too. Indeed, the rabbit holes are associated with portals to other dimensions or strange worlds, to the world of conspiracies that takes you to another reality full of wonders and mysteries. A door opens to the world where questions multiply and a new reality appears that surpasses the fiction we know. A burrow or den is a hole or tunnel that an animal digs in the ground in order to create a suitable space for temporary habitation or shelter. Burrows provide the animal with protection from predators and inclement weather. A wide variety of animals build or use burrows. Mythology. The rabbit is an animal that, throughout history, has been a symbolic figure for different cultures. The Aztecs referred to them as part of their lunar bestiary and as a representation of agricultural abundance. In Indian and Egyptian mythology, some gods appear reincarnated as rabbits. In Cambodia, the multiplication of these animals is believed to attract fertility rains from the moon. In Taoism, the hare, which dies to be reborn as the moon, becomes a representation of immortality. In Burma, it is even considered the ancestor of the lunar dynasty. In the case of the Celts of Ireland and Britain, the hare was seen as a sacred animal, as they bred it to keep it as a companion but never consumed its meat. The three hares appear in many ancient cultures around the world and are believed to be related to the lunar cycle and humankind's fertility. In Korea and Japan, rabbits are believed to live in the moon and spend their time making rice cakes. In Chinese mythology, thousands of rabbits are believed to be companions of the moon goddess and guard a potion that keeps eternal youth when drunk, an elixir of life that is the food of the gods, called ambrosia by the ancient Greeks. Reset News. As the world turns upside down on its head, the beginning literally comes. According to the X-22 report, this is a battle between good and evil, and it is almost as if we are watching the show. People are awake and there are many more of us than them. According to Dolores Cannon, fear is one of the main things that would prevent people from ascending and entering the new earth. More than 1,300 CEOs have resigned in the last 3 years. The silence has been broken. We are entering the final stage. Are you ready? We hear that white hats in many countries are preparing to act. The default on 14th October means that oil imports from the Middle East and products from Asia are drying up. The clock is ticking. Most of the bankers have been dealt with, but their families, as well as the people who take orders from them, may still be scrambling to figure out how they are going to continue with the agenda they have been told they must pursue. They say it is said that Elon Musk wants to put a chip in our brains to robotize us. If you ask him which side he's on, he'll tell you he's on the side that wins. He's a survivor like everyone else. Bin Salman asked Musk, "Are you going to capitulate and agree to work with us?" Elon capitulated and agreed to play a role in taking over Twitter and ending censorship. Elon Musk's quote, in quotes, "I think most likely there will be many simulations. You could also call them reality or multiverse." Davos is trying to push China into war. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, has urged the Security Council to act to deter an epidemic of coups d'etat, in quotes. The army is quietly moving in Brazil. Brazilian farmers invade the Legislative Assembly to protest against the tax on agriculture. Last week's G20 meeting in Bali, Indonesia, may be the latest show of control. Germany intends to improve relations with Russia and China despite US objections. According to Charlie Watt, the Mar-a-Lago raid was a failure. They found nothing. What they were looking for is in a very safe place. It is easy to be discouraged, but we must keep faith that the righteous will prevail over the wicked. When the demons looked into their future with a mirror, they saw that their demise was unavoidable. So they decided to kill the Kennedys. They have failed. Here comes the sun. Klaus Schwab talks about the European token law with Ursula von der Leyen. In quotes, an important step towards creating the physical brain for digitalization. Saudi Arabia holds a Middle East de-dollarization conference. The butterfly effect is intensifying. The unrest in China is becoming impressive. Riots in Zhengzhou over tough restrictions on Foxconn's iPhone factory. According to Gene Decode, in quotes, the coalition has taken every possible move. In chess, it is called a zugzwang. No matter what the enemy does, it's done. Most of the war is over. All the top controllers have been eliminated. A player is said to be in zugzwang if any move allowed means worsening his situation. If you simply love God sincerely and consistently, all your troubles will be over, sooner rather than later, opines poet Tog. Daniel was a eunuch slave. When he died, his race would die out. He prayed, in quotes, "What is happening? What is happening to your people? Are we going to die in slavery?" An angel appears to him and says he comes from the future, at the end of the age of all things, coming to a critical point on earth. Sherry opined, "The things that the Creator has prepared for us have not entered the mind of the humankind. We only use 4% of our brain. This is just the beginning of eternity. Be patient. Good will come, and we will have all the time we need. We can come together, or we can have conflict amongst ourselves. If this is not remedied, there will come a time when the very act of thinking for ourselves will not only be forbidden but unthinkable. We are being led down the path towards that dystopian future, driven by political correct forces that, while they may have started with the best of intentions, have fallen victim to the authoritarian song of the nanny state. As the saying goes, hell is paved with good intentions. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.